And we're joined by Bonnie Wilkie. And I take it, Bonnie, this chimes and lights idea is something that you brought up here at the hospital?
Yes, at this hospital I did.
And tell me a little bit, you were saying before this interview how you first encountered this sort of idea. You were at a hospital in Seattle. Describe that moment.
So I was working on a medical surgical ward, and it was the evening. It was about 8:30 at night, and I was in the room with an elderly gentleman, and I was talking to him, and I heard this little noise, and I didn't know what it was, and I must have paused in talking to him, and he looked at me, and he said, "That means a baby was born." And I just thought, that was 20 years ago, and still kind of gives me shivers. And I just thought that was such a nice moment between the two of us. And I don't remember anything about him, and he probably doesn't remember anything about me, but I sure do remember that moment.
So here's someone who's in the hospital that has nothing to do with the birth of the baby, but yet they hear that, and it's just a moment of lightness.
Absolutely. And there's lots of stuff that happens in this hospital, so celebrating the birth of a baby is pretty nice.
So your role here is as a nurse educator, and I take it you've been sort of trying to slide this idea in for quite some time?
Wow, yeah. Yeah. And yes, it's been a long time coming, and it's been delayed for a lot of really, really good reasons. I mean, initially there was concern about the amount of noise in the hospital that patients do have to hear. And then at some point, Derek Kosh, our spiritual advisor, stepped in and said it's a family-centered care initiative, and it's not noise pollution, it's a positive message. So then it really did take off after that point.
How did it make you feel when you heard those chimes go off?
Happy. It was very cute. I liked that. And I wish I would have gotten to see the lights, but I had a C-section, so I was laid out. Couldn't really. But I thought it was really cute, and this morning at 4 o'clock we heard the chimes again and knew what it meant, so it was very cute, and I think it's very nice to let everybody know.
People's faces just light up, and they're like, "Wow, that's so exciting," and they will communicate that to patients when patients or family members ask, "What is that noise that's happening?" And it gives staff another opportunity to engage with patients and families about the great things that are going on in the hospital.
Where did we get the money for this?
The money that was donated was raised by volunteers. The volunteers to KGH Foundation are an amazing group of people, and supporting those that use the hospital. They do it every day with their time. So understanding the value that this would bring to people in the hospital, sort of celebrating a new baby, it was an easy sell.
Overall, it's really, really positive. Like, we did a test run a while ago with just the chimes, because we're doing chimes and lights, and we would get phone calls from different departments when the chimes went off saying how positive it was.
So will this happen any time of day or night if a baby's born?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be driven by the parents, so they get to choose when they want the button to be pushed, because they might want to wait for grandma and grandma to show up or their toddler to show up. So it's up to them, but it can go overnight because there's no speakers in patient rooms, and the sound is really unobtrusive, so we felt that it was okay to do it overnight.
You could sleep through the chimes.
Absolutely.
So what sort of rate of birth is there at this hospital? Typically a couple a day, or?
5 to 6 a day.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have 1,600-ish a year pretty consistently.
Right.
So
half a dozen happy little moments every day.
yeah, and it might be 2 at a time.
So you seem pretty happy about that.
Oh yeah, I'm thrilled about it. It's, we do a lot of stuff, but to have a positive thing that impacts the whole hospital and the community, actually, because we're doing the lights as well. So if you're driving down Pandosy at midnight and the skywalk above you flashes blue or pink, a baby was born.
Terrific. And thank you for watching Kelowna Now.